Welcome back. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a game that, honestly, still sparks so much debate years later. The Last of Us, the original 2013 release.
Absolutely. It's one of those stories that's been picked apart endlessly, hasn't it? For the narrative, the characters, themes, those really tough moral choices.
Exactly. And that's our mission today, really, to try and pull apart why it's so compelling, why it sticks with people.
Makes sense.
So maybe the place to start is with that central tension, right? What actually happens when love, that really intense personal love, just slams up against the basic need to survive in a world completely falling apart?
Yeah, that collision is right there from the very beginning, the prologue.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more than just showing the outbreak.
Oh, definitely.
It sets up Joel's entire psychology, basically. Sarah's death isn't just backstory.
No, it's formative, deeply.
It fundamentally changes him, how he connects, who he trusts, his whole view of the world, really. It all stems from that loss,
And they show that trauma in subtle ways too, don't they? Like, the broken watch.
the watch.
It's always there. Like, that moment is literally frozen for him. And the irony of time heals all wounds. I mean, clearly not for Joel.
Not at all.
Yeah.
It underscores how deep that pain runs, how stuck he is. And that's the filter, initially, isn't it, for how he sees Ellie.
Yeah, not as a kid, not really as a person even, more like...
Good package to deliver.
Exactly. A burden.
But what's so well done is how that changes. Slowly, but you really see it. Their bond develops, kind of in stages.
Right. So first, he's just the reluctant guardian. Ellie's the cargo.
Yeah, but even then, you see glimpses of her resilience. That spark. Remember Pittsburgh?
Oh, yeah, when she saves him from that hunter. Unexpected.
Totally. And it shows she's got this strength, this decisiveness. It's maybe one of the first moments Joel's armor starts to crack, just a little.
That felt like a turning point for sure. And then things get, well, much darker as they go on. That second phase you mentioned, bonding through shared trauma.
In winter,
Mm-hmm.
that chapter is just brutal.
Devastating. Ellie having to step up, protect Joel. And then the whole thing with David.
It's shocking, isn't it? Seeing her capable of that kind of violence, and the way it sort of mirrors Joel's own capacity for brutality.
Yeah, it's disturbing. It really shows how that world is changing her, maybe even corrupting her.
It's like holding up a mirror to their reality, you
Yeah.
know? Innocence doesn't last long. When survival's the only thing that matters, ruthlessness becomes necessary.
True. But then, right after all that darkness, they give us the giraffes.
Ah, the giraffe scene. Yeah.
It's so brief, but it's this moment of just pure beauty, hope, maybe, in the middle of all the decay.
It feels deliberate, a reminder, maybe for Joel, maybe for us, of what's still worth fighting for.
Yeah.
Some sliver of beauty left.
It's like a breath of fresh air, isn't it, in this suffocating world? And it's through all these things, the horrors, but also these little moments that Joel really starts to
You
change.
see those walls come down.
And then he calls her baby girl, the same thing he called Sarah.
Such a powerful moment, so understated.
And then Ellie confiding in him about Riley, her survivor's guilt. It cements it, doesn't it? This is
Ah.
way beyond just a job for him now.
It's become something much deeper. Familial, almost.
Which, naturally, makes that ending. Wow, so controversial, so ethically messy.
Yeah, the climax, the Fireflies plan, it puts you in an impossible
Like a
position.
potential cure for humanity on one side,
But it means sacrificing Ellie without her consent.
and there's just no easy answer, is there? No clear right thing to do.
Absolutely not. And Joel's response
Yeah.
is pure instinct. Raw.
And violent. He just carves his way through them, makes the choice.
Kills the surgeon, yeah.
Yeah.
And then lies to Ellie about it.
Which forces us to ask that uncomfortable question, right?
Yeah.
How far do you go for someone you love? Is saving that one person, well, potentially sacrificing everyone else?
It's the core dilemma. And the game doesn't give you an easy out. That Ellie's final line,
Okay.
just, oh, so ambiguous. Does she believe him? Does she suspect? But choose the lie because their bond is all she has left.
Or maybe needs right then. It says so much about how important that connection is, even if it's built on a lie now.
A huge lie, yeah.
Okay, so let's maybe dig into some of those bigger themes running through it all. The cost of survival seems huge.
Oh, absolutely central. The game really throws the whole hero idea out the window.
Yeah, no shining knights here.
Survival means making impossible choices, doing things that are questionable. We see it in Joel's past, his present actions, and like we said, Ellie's own loss of innocence with David.
Heroism gets blurry, maybe irrelevant in that world.
The lines between right and wrong just dissolve, don't they?
Yeah.
And then there's that other theme, love is destruction. It's kind of unsettling.
What do you mean?
Well, think about Joel's love for Ellie. It's all-consuming, possessive almost. And you could draw a parallel, maybe a dark one, to how the cordyceps fungus bonds with its host.
Huh. That's interesting. Both driven by this intense need regardless of the outcome.
Something like that. And it contrasts sharply with Marlene's decision, doesn't it?
Right. Marlene's choice is more utilitarian. For the greater good, arguably.
You could see it as a kind of parental sacrifice, too, maybe. But again, without Ellie's consent, it's complex.
That comparison, Joel versus Marlene, is key, though. Both think they're doing the right thing, in a way.
But their motivations, the scale of their actions, totally different. Which also feeds into that whole cycle of violence theme.
Yeah, knowing what happens in part 2, it feels like heavy foreshadowing.
Definitely. Ellie's path later, driven by revenge, it echoes the violence Joel himself dealt out. It's a bleak cycle.
The really bleak but powerful one they set up so well here. But beyond the characters and themes, the way the story is told is also brilliant. Environmental storytelling.
Oh, top-notch. Think about Ish in the sewers.
Yeah, his whole tragic story just told through notes you find. You piece it together yourself.
Adds so much depth to the world, that feeling of loss, without needing a cutscene or dialogue. It makes the world feel haunted, lived in.
Definitely. Those little details make such a difference. And the use of silence, too.
Silence is dialogue, yeah. Those quiet moments between Joel and Ellie.
Like the tar scene.
Exactly. So much emotion, so much connection conveyed without words. It shows how deep their bond has become.
Yeah. It really proves you don't need constant talking for powerful storytelling.
Not at all. Which kind of leads to some bigger, maybe philosophical questions the game raises, almost indirectly. Well, looking at the state of humanity in that world, the military, the fireflies, the hunters, the cannibals, is humanity like this even worth saving?
Ooh, yeah. It makes you question what a good outcome would even look like. What are they even fighting for?
It's a tough question. And maybe the biggest one that sticks with you is, can love justify doing terrible things?
Joel's choice. It comes from love, absolutely.
What?
But the consequences, the violence, the lie.
It's a massive ethical compromise.
Yeah.
And there's no easy answer there either. I think that ambiguity is why people still argue about it so passionately.
For sure. And that choice, that lie, it hangs heavy. It directly sets up part 2.
Right. Absolutely. Without giving too much away, Ellie finding out the truth that fuels everything in the sequel. Her quest for revenge, the further exploration of these themes.
And the irony is just painful. Joel's act of love, trying to protect her,
ends up being the catalyst for his own downfall in many ways. Tragic irony.
So wrapping this up, it feels like The Last of Us is so much more than just another zombie story or post-apocalyptic tale.
Way more. At its core, it's about us. About human emotions.
Love, grief, survival, and how those powerful forces can twist our morality, especially when the world's already broken.
Exactly. It forces you to look at the messy, uncomfortable parts of human nature under extreme pressure.
So a final thought maybe for you listening, thinking about everything we've discussed, the loss, the bond, those huge choices. What single decision do you think had the biggest ripple effect on Joel, on Ellie, on their world? And what does that choice tell us about who we are when everything's stripped away?
Something to chew on, definitely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.